Right, guys and girls, welcome back. It is today, Sunday, the 18th of July, 2021. It's 10:52 in the morning. Just looking at some of the cases because I've just been reading that now. They've got an extra 50,000 cases of COVID-19 already. New cases. This was like 2 days going back. Yet, Boris Johnson wants to basically go back, starting from, is it the 19th, which is tomorrow, Monday, to go back to our normal lives, carry on like anything. Don't forget, many people, there's many people who haven't been actually vaccinated yet, which is actually stupid in a way. Not the being vaccinated, stupid that they would actually allow people to go back to work. People should be still, and actually they're doing it as well, taking off, allowing people to make their own decisions to take the masks off, which is actually stupid in its sense. If people have got common sense, they would be able to basically keep the mask on and they would know. But if they've told everybody, it's all right, you go back to your normal lives on the 19th, which is actually stupid anyway. I think we're not out of it yet. So, and I don't think people should, I think we're going to see another epidemic coming because of Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson's like shitty sort of looking after the country. He doesn't know what he's doing. He can't make up his mind where he's going from pillar to post. And apparently, by the looks of it, he's got COVID again, by the looks of it. Or could have, possibly could have been in contact with someone who's got, like, is positive. So basically, COVID, PM, and Chancellor not isolating after Javid test positive. So our health secretary Sajid Javid was at a meeting in Downing Street shortly before testing positive for COVID-19. So it looks like Boris could be in contact with someone, his health secretary, who's, I think he's taken over basically Matt Hancock's job as the health secretary. The Prime Minister and Chancellor will not self-isolate. So it's do what I tell you, but not what I say and all that. So what I say for myself, say if Boris Johnson wants to basically say, no, I won't isolate, but you do what I tell you by you guys isolating, you stay in, you do all this. Now, I think, one, we should be closing down the country, the UK entirely, stopping people from coming in and out. I think we should be going on the red band list, so to stop anyone from coming into the UK for the time being, until we've got this down to the nail, the tooth and nail. So Downing Street said the pair would take part in a pilot program where daily tests replace self-isolation. Also, they're not going. So they're trying to basically do like a little worm in their little hole into the gap, and sort of they're trying to sort of basically get out of all this shit. Basically, it's all right. We don't need to self-isolate. We've had our vaccine, so we're fine. Until they end up in hospital or giving it to someone else that they come in contact with. They will have to self-isolate so they will have to self-isolate when not working and will only conduct essential business, a spokesperson said. So basically, if they're working, it's all right. I know I've been positive COVID, so that's all right. We'll carry on working, and then what we'll do, we won't self-isolate. We'll go and shake other people's world leaders' hands and then give them COVID and all this kind of shit. Mr. Javid test positive on Saturday morning after a meeting at Downing Street the day before, and both Boris Johnson and Rishi Sunak were contacted by the NHS Test and Trace at his contact. So basically, they've been in contact with someone who's got COVID. Basically, Sajid Javid, he's got COVID, and he's basically passed it on to the Prime Minister. Downing Street is among 20 private and public sectors organisations, including Network Rail, Transport for London and Border Force, taking part in a pilot where the close contacts of COVID cases take daily tests. Number 10 said they will be participating in the daily contact testing pilot to allow them to continue to work from Downing Street. They will be conducting only essential government business during... Well, they shouldn't even be doing essential business. They should be isolating themselves. It's do what I tell you, but not what I say. So they can do it. They can tell you what to do, but then you have to listen to what the government says. So it's basically sort of hypocrisy. They're becoming hypocrites. More than 500,000 alerts telling people to self-isolate were sent by the NHS COVID-19 app in England and Wales in the first week of July, with unions saying it was causing havoc on production lines. Also, right, if we've got more people going into the hospitals because of, like, people have double jabs and stuff, and they're supposed to be sort of vaccinated, yet somehow they're still getting COVID or something after their vaccinations, then something is wrong with those vaccines in the first place. The reason why, either if it's working, or if it's not working, it's not working. So if it's giving people COVID, which it shouldn't be doing, then they need to relook on those vaccines to see if those vaccines actually do work. And with this new variant, it's more dangerous. Mild symptoms, but Housing Secretary Robert Jenrick, stepping in for Mr. Javid on the Andrew Marr show, said the scheme is well known and long-standing. One is not just available for politicians. He said the department was not part of it and the normal rules would apply to me as you would expect. But he said the self-isolation was an important part of keeping the virus under control. So if you want to keep... Right, what really pisses me off as well, right, is, okay, we had the football European Cup, right? Why the hell did we have 60,000 people attend, all together, crammed up, like a bunch of chickens going to the slaughterhouse, all crammed together? A majority of them had no masks on anyway in the fucking first place. So 60 to 80,000 of them. And yet we seem to think this is all right and this is like really good. I don't think so. I think this is really wrong. Even though, right, okay, we did win the European Cup, but I think 60,000 attending a not World Cup, but a European Cup football is bad enough to have 60,000 people with hardly any masks on. And then when England took on Scotland, we found out a lot of the Scottish fans actually got COVID because of that football match. Now, I think, obviously, if they catch a COVID shit going on, then we're not out of this trouble already. We're still in it. And why are we going back to our normal lives when we were just beginning to basically keep this under control and getting rid of it, slowly getting rid of it? Now we're letting everybody off the leash, everyone with no common sense at all, and everyone can go together. You can have groups of 30, 40 people going to funerals and weddings, and if you're outside, it's unlimited. So you can have many people as well. You can have up to 200 people outdoors. Wow. Nice going, Boris. Nice going. So then what we're going to see in the next probably couple of days, weeks, once everyone's off the leash, He reckons, right, Boris Johnson was saying the other day that if everyone's going back to their normal lives, we're going to see an increase of up to 2,000 people a day. Every day, 2,000 people with COVID. And, like, if that's true, and that's what he said. So, lockdown exit, current wave could see 200,000 cases. 200,000 cases a day. Wow. Warns Ferguson. So, basically, not 2,000 cases, 200,000. That's like 10 times worse. Cases are up to 6,000 miles from Paris. France baffled by UK quarantine changes. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm baffled by it as well, and I think it's wrong. So someone else has just passed away. Pioneering opera director Sir Graham Vick dies. That was uploaded 39 minutes ago. And I'm seeing all these cases. We've got an extra 50,000 cases now a day, pretty much. I'd say probably 50,000 cases a day. And then we've got the Tokyo Olympics. First athletes have COVID. Athletes village in Tokyo. Prime Minister and Sunak not isolating despite being pinned after Javid's positive COVID. I think there's some distrust, to be honest, with Downing Street and the Prime Minister. He should be setting an example for people to stay indoors regardless. And I think, to be honest, on this July the 19th, I think they should just put it back until December and actually close all the pubs down again, because we've got people going to pubs, right, getting COVID again, right, getting multiple cases already starting to happen in pubs and all that, and that's a fact as well. They're starting to actually go, people, especially to do with the football, pubs, and now we're supposed to be getting people to go back to nightclubs, guys and girls. The worst places on earth is nightclubs, because if you're going together and you're not isolating and you've got COVID and you think you haven't, right, and you're doing it basically, so that's alright, I know, we'll go out and about, so I haven't got no symptoms, that's alright, we'll go out, we'll go and give people hugs and kisses and do some dancing, and next minute you're passing that one on to, I think the R rate's gone up to 1.2, 1.4 now on the R rate. So that is actually really a big deal when it comes to stuff. I mean, I thought with the R rate, once it's over 1 point stuff, I thought then everyone would have to be basically isolated or in lockdown. I'm sure what they should do is lock down the country again, because this is really fucking starting to piss me off, with people starting to go to all these events, whether it's racing, whether it's basically football matches, whether it's wrestling matches. I was watching WWE last night with the WWE SmackDown. We've got people in the audience with no masks on at all, literally crammed together again like chickens going to the slaughterhouse. I mean, this is absolutely stupid in its sense. People have got no common sense. They think, it's all right, we could have the masks off. Some of us, we can have our masks on. We've had our double jabs, so we can take the masks off now, so it's all fine. We're not going to get it and stuff. I think it's stupid the way people are thinking this way and stuff. And this is the common sense that basically Boris Johnson says we should be having more common sense. But people going back thinking it's all right, fantastic, it's fine, we've had our jabs and all that, go back to work and all that, do whatever, get COVID again. and then start the pandemic. Well, we're still in a pandemic, even though we're like, people are starting to think now, oh, we're not in a pandemic no more. Yes, you are. You're still a pandemic. There's still a virus going around, and it's still giving people bloody things like viruses and making people ill and making people go to the hospitals. And it's stupid. So let's go back to square one. Let's go back, do that full circle again, and we'll go back to the very start for where it started back in March of 2020. But anyway, guys and girls, stay safe out there. The ones who do keep themselves like a lip tight, and with common sense. But people who don't have common sense are the stupid idiots out there who think, oh, right, we'll go to a football match, it's all right, we'll like isolate and all that, and then, or they go to all these other races and stuff, like different events, and think it's all right to go to these events and stuff, and think, oh, I won't get it no more, I won't get this virus no more and all that. And then next minute they're in hospital, or even worse, on their deathbed. But anyway, cheers for watching, guys and girls. Stay safe.